all of your characters have source material, right? So it's kind of like a big step to step into their shoes. What was the hardest thing about becoming these characters and living up to that material?
For me, Iris West was traditionally white in the comic books, so comic book fans are very opinionated, very vocal. So it was very scary stepping into that role when I started the show. And I remember our executive producer at this time, once I got cast, he was like, "Don't go online, just don't go on." But what's great is I think over time people have embraced me and embraced this character, and I think it's really important. So thank you. And I think what's great is, years to come, people will remember Iris West as being African American, and that's a really, really cool thing.
Ashleigh, I see you shaking your head.
It's the exact same thing.
Yeah.
Josie, she's originally white in the comics, and so is Melody. And, we all ended up coming as an all-black group. And when I actually was testing for it, my aunt asked me, how are you going to deal with it if you book this? How are you going to handle people having an issue with it? And I was like, well, we'll just worry about it when it comes. And then when it came, I did exactly that. They were like, just don't even go on the internet. Don't check social media. And I've seen people say some really unfortunate things, but there was so much happiness and gratitude and support outside of that negativity that it kind of outweighed it, and now it's just white noise. Like, I don't even notice it or see it much anymore. And it's probably thanks to you, because if you had to go through it before I did, you probably made the transition a little bit easier.
And I think that's the thing. The more we do it, the more we get cast, the more we unfortunately take the brunt.
Right.
The easier it's going to get on every woman of color that comes after us that's cast on these shows. It's going to become the normal, I hope, sooner than later. But, if I had to deal with, crap online and harassment online, so, a girl that looks like me 10 years from now can successfully be on these shows without any of that, then well worth it. I can take it.
Kaity, so Sarah became the de facto leader of Legends last season. So why is that important, do you think?
Wow, she's a woman and she's the leader of the group. It's this big deal. And I'm like, yeah, of course she's the leader.
Duh.
But I think another big deal about it is, she's a bisexual woman.
Yes.
And you think about, specifically bisexual representation on television and how much it's lacking, and to see a female bisexual character as the lead, the captain of the ship, is, I think, a really, really nice step in progress for representation.
Exactly. And you can speak to that, Vanessa, about Tony, because I know the fans were really excited when... Can you hear me?
Yeah,
okay.
I can hear you.
Okay,
yeah.
good. Just making sure you can hear me. I know that everybody was so excited to see Tony Topaz come onto the show, knowing that she is a bisexual character. So what did that mean for you personally? I know we've talked about it a little bit.
Yeah,
but
I mean, personally, as you said, I don't think it's represented as much as it should be in the media. So I love being able to represent that love is love. I mean, I personally believe that. I feel like you can fall in love with a person's soul regardless of their gender. So I love representing that. I love people coming up to me and said, oh, because of them, I was able to come out to my family. And I was like, because I didn't have that growing up. I didn't have somebody that, that I could relate to being biracial growing up on TV. So I love that people can now see that and have somebody that they're like, oh, that's like me.
what have you guys done, because you're all on successful shows, what have you guys done to kind of keep yourself grounded through this process?
What keeps me motivated? I try to never lose sight of, 5-6 years ago, all I wanted was to be a lead female on a television show. And I would have given anything to be here. And now it's my day in, my day out. It's become normal for me, but I try and have moments of really being grateful, as hard as it is. You get into a routine, but I try to remind myself that I am very lucky. I'm one of the chosen few that gets to be on a successful TV show. And so, I don't know, gratitude is a huge thing for me.